Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and today we're going to be working in the autumn journal. I can't believe I've been in here for probably an hour and I've only just started the video. It's ridiculous. I've spent so much time pulling things out to make sure I have everything I need, probably more than I need, and probably I'll have forgotten something, but hopefully I've got everything I need to do what I want to do today. And today I want to be decorating the cover and finishing it so that it's so that we can then work more in the journal making ephemera. Not that I'm going to make a huge amount because we've got so many pockets in the cover. And it did occur to me, if anybody's just starting to watch these videos looking at saying, oh, autumn, I'm interested in autumn colours, autumn journals, but don't know how I made the cover, it's in the playlist. Excuse me. I have an autumn journal playlist, and how I made the cover is part of that playlist. So if you haven't seen how this cover was made, then just check out the playlist, because we've got all these pockets. I've still got a few more to finish at the back here. Probably do that as part of the 50 stack challenge. So let's get started on this cover, because I had said last time that I wanted to put some fabric around this spine. So and I had pulled out this fabric, a piece of this, and I wasn't sure which bit I wanted to use, so I've just split it into the three components, which were all part of the same piece, just to see which would look best and which would fit best on here. I've got really dry tickle. I don't know if I've got a cold coming, but I do keep coughing at the moment. I do apologise. I know I've always got a bit of a cough when I'm filming, but I think I feel coughing a little bit more at the moment. Okay. So we have this piece, which I do love. I mean, I love all the pieces. I did think this might be the one, but it is quite narrow. Whether that will be enough. There. I mean, it's enough to cover the spine. It's a case of whether it's... The colours are really good there, I think. I do like those colours. I love the pattern. So that may well be the one. Whether I'm going to incorporate some lace as well, I'm not sure, because I have pulled out a few laces. Some crochet lace would be quite nice on here as well, so maybe I'll have a quick look at that to see if I can put them together. Because that's a bit wider. And then could I put this over the top, or is that just too much? I do quite like that as a possibility. Okay, so we may have that. Those two together may well work. So then, let me just try and get this out of the way a little bit. Then we have the kind of the larger piece. And I mean, all the colours work because they're all pretty much the same colours, and they all seem to work with this, what I've got going on the cover here. But I'm not sure I like that as much. So there's that one. And then there's this one, which is also beautiful. It's really quite hard to choose, actually. This is slightly wider, I think, than this piece. So I wouldn't need the extra lace. It is a little wider. Maybe that would be the best option. Let's just see if I can... Oh, it's quite difficult. Quite difficult to choose. Right, yeah, I like... It's either this one or the other one. I kind of like this, actually. I like the frayed edge. I don't know if I need the extra lace because it's not a huge cover. I do often like lace, but because there's so much going on the cover, I don't know whether the lace would be just too much. So I may go with that. So, yeah, I'm thinking I might go with this one. How far around is it going? How does it look on the back? You have to make sure I leave myself enough to wrap around the back. So that goes like that. See if I can pick it up. Flip it over. That should be okay, I think. I could always put a narrow piece of lace behind it, just on the one side. So I think that's the one I might go for. I've got another idea what I could do with this. Yes, ideas are forming, not on the cover but in the journal. So that's that. Now I want to put something on the front, a nice decorative, not a topper exactly, but a bit of extra something to decorate it. And what I'm hoping to use, which I think I will use, one of these two ladies, one of these two fairies. I think she's my favourite, but I just want to know, I'm just not sure about the colours with what's going on. I love her. I really love her. She's got that, I don't know, wistful, faraway look on her face, hasn't she? Really lovely. Although I've got this one as well, and she's also very pretty. And actually her colours kind of work better. Colours in her dress work really well with this. In fact, it looks like it's almost part of her. So even though I was quite sure I wanted to go with this little one, this girl, now I'm not so sure, because I like the colours of this one. Ooh, that's a difficult one. Let me just take the thought further, what I was thinking about with this girl, this fairy here. I was thinking I could put something behind. Let's pull this out a bit. Some of this kind of calico cotton material. There's a bit of something on there. So I thought I could put that maybe there, right up to the edge. I don't want it over the edge. It's possibly too wide. Of course, that would overlap there, wouldn't it? That might be too... Not this length. I'm just thinking about giving her a little something behind her, but I don't know that I like that with the... Now that I've got the fabric on the spine, I'm not sure I want those two together, really. Covers up too much. Covers up too much. I may have to do something else with her again as well. It's funny, all the things I thought I was going to use, turns out when I actually come to doing it, I'm not sure I will. So I do like her, and I like the colours. I think she needs a little bit of lace, not a huge amount, a little something behind her, just to soften that edge a little bit. Let's see what I can find in my scraps box that might... I knew there'll be something I hadn't got out, because I'm not using what I thought I was going to use. So I have a bit of cheesecloth, but I don't want cheesecloth, I want a bit of lace. So have I got any little scraps of lace that might just work behind her? I have to trim this bit off, it's a kind of a seam. And perhaps I'll just do that. So how are you? How are you all? I hope you're well. Are you working on autumn, or are you going straight into Christmas? I mean, not everybody does autumn journals. I didn't. Did I do one last year? I don't do them every year. Don't always find time. I don't think I did one last year. But I really wanted to do one this year. So maybe a little bit of lace behind her, like that. Yeah, I quite like that. Okay, so far so good. Don't want any more. Don't know yet. I don't know yet. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing really, because I'm not doing what I thought I was going to do. But sometimes these things change as you start working on it. You get different ideas, don't you? And I wanted to put something around her as well. Possibly some leaves. I do have some leaves left over from doing my 50 stack challenge the other day. Could use some of these. I also have some flowers in colours that might work. They're almost too blendy, aren't they? They blend in so well, I'm not sure they're going to work. I do have a darker one. It's a bit too purple, isn't it, really? Okay, so they're an option. I have some these fabric-y sort of leaves, which I do like. But they're quite big. What colour do I want? I do want a reddish one. Let's get some of these out. I need to put her out of the way, she's distracting me. There are actually some leaves in the kit as well. I do have some other, I have some leaves with the other kit as well, the Autumn Wonder kit. Just pull out a few of those leaves. Right, I didn't find many, just one. These are all quite large. I don't know if I'd use many of them, probably not. Let's just see. I'm going to have to do a closure for this because it is popping up a bit. Perhaps I'll use my book weight just to hold it flat while I decorate the cover. Just to hold it down a little bit. I'm just wondering, I think really and truly I ought to put this on first and then I know what I'm working with, don't I? Let's do that, because it's until I've got that on I don't know what I can fit on here. Let's do that, let's put that on and then go from there. Right, I'm going to use this fabric glue, I think. Right, I put glue all over that, but I have left this edge with not so much glue on, with not glued right up to the edge in case I decide I'll need to tuck something behind it. So, how are we doing? So I'm going to wrap that around, try and keep that fairly straight. How straight does it look on this side? That's not bad. Not blocking anything, am I? No. Not blocking any pockets. Okay, so that's on there. I like that. I'm thinking I could tuck some lace, maybe, behind there. A bit of vintage lace that would perhaps just give it that finishing touch, which is quite nice. Could I do that? I could, I might, but we'll see. Once I've got my fairy on, there might not really be the need. So I'm going to put her there. I do think I quite like the lace, actually. If you watch my channel for any length of time, you know me and lace. I love a bit of lace. Where appropriate. I don't use it on everything. I didn't use hardly any on my Owls and Fairies journal, which was also very similar to an autumn journal, but hopefully this one will have a totally different feel to it. Although owls do often feature in autumn journals, don't they? And they may still well, probably will feature in this one too. Almost definitely. However, lots of other things as well. And of course there were fairies in the Owls and Fairies journal. Yeah, but different colours, different vibe, I think. So what I think I might do, so I can just tuck that behind there. How about that? I might just, I need something quite narrow, just sort of thin, just to lift that edge up a bit. And tuck it in. Can I do that? I've made life as easy as I might have, but how about out. Will that go in there? I think it will. I'll tuck that there for now, for the moment, just to see. Falling off my chair. I was putting this piece behind her as well, wasn't I? Just so she doesn't blend too much into that background flower. Like that. Yeah, okay. Happy with that. Okay, yeah, I like it's not too much, the lace. I like it. I'm going to just trim off this little edge. Hopefully that's not a bad decision, but I thought it might just tuck in a bit more easily without that. It's not a problem that it wouldn't be visible, but I just thought it might be easier to slide it in. I don't know. So I'm just going to stick that up a little bit, roll that back, do a line of, get off my thing, get off my thumb you. There we are, line of fabric glue. I'm going to do it that way around, I think it'd be easier. Let's see how that looks now. Okay, just trim this off a touch at the top here and a bit at the bottom. Okay, yep, liking that. Right, let's go back to our little fairy. Put her on there. Okay, so she's going to go here with her bit of fabric. Yeah, we know about that, so that's fine. I just want to see what I can put behind her. Where did my little bag of? Here we are. My little bag of leaves. These are ones that were left over, as I said, from doing the 50 stack challenge when I used so many leaves. I had so much fun doing it as well. So I want to see if I've got any that would work. So I've got some of my wallpaper ones here. And I don't mind if it, oh no, can't go over there too much because I don't want it to stop my journal card from coming out. So, and I don't want to cover all of this window. I don't mind her wings going over a little bit, but we still want to see the fairy in the window. So, what can I use? Can I use this? Is this going to be too much? Then that one over the top. Is that going to work? Too bright. Some of these are very bright, which worked fine on my journal card that I was doing, but I'm not so sure about on the cover. So I've got got this brown one that didn't completely get cut out properly in the die cutting machine. I think I was using 2 pieces of card together, and they both got half a leaf. What have I got here? Some of these are just a bit too bright, I feel. But the yellow I can go over it with some walnut stain just to knock it back a little bit. there, and then that covers up that bit that's not cut properly. Wondering about this gold one. Let's give it a pop. No, I'm not sure I like all that. Yeah. All looks a bit too much, too busy. Too busy. Maybe just do a few smallish ones with the I have still got some card. I quite like this colour. I wonder if I can punch a few. Don't think they'll be big enough, that's the problem. That colour. Oh, I've got this. This is a nice colour. That would go really well. I think I might need to go and cut a few more. Maybe. I've got this. That colour's good. Maybe better than the red. Maybe that would work. This doesn't lay very flat. I may have to force it to lay flat. I don't know if I want any up the top. I may just want a couple around the sides, right underneath. I might just get my punch out and see. When I said punch, I meant three. I've got 3 punches. None of them have got very big leaves, but they might just do what I need. Right, I think I made the most of that piece of paper. A little bit of card really. So I've got a couple of these, and where did it go? And one maple shaped leaf. So I thought maybe, let's see. Can I do that? And I quite like this brown. It doesn't matter. Right, so I think I might possibly pop this brown one underneath as well as an extra little layer there. Don't know if I like this one on here very much. How are we doing? Got that, got that. I want the brown one. Maybe on top. This one a bit lower. Oh, I don't know how. Just got to be so careful about this pocket. That's what I'm getting a bit worried about. Okay. And then these two down here over this side. Yeah, I think that could work. Just got to be careful. So I could have this going under the. What I might do is take this journal card out, and then I can have the leaf sort of there. Do you want her to go up a little bit? Maybe up a little bit. And then do we really need the lace there? Okay, I think quite like that little arrangement here. I think that's going to work. I think I'll just pull this down a bit more, go up a little bit more, kind of like that. All right, let's try that. I'm going to need to use my fabric pencil. So we've got her. I'm still debating about this bit of lace and I'm not sure she needs it. What about if I used a piece of something a bit more vintage looking? I had some pulled out somewhere. Oh, I have so many things pulled out, it's ridiculous. Oh, there. So I've got a little bowl with a few little bits in. So let's just see. I've got a couple of bits of this vintage lace, which is beautiful. And maybe that would just be enough behind her to just give her that little bit of, I think I like that. Yeah, because you can still see the colour through. As long as I can get it to lie flat. Yeah, I like that. I do. Right, we're going to put that on. Where does this little leaf come from? I'm going to overlap there a little bit. Not quite sure where it's going, so I need to just, I think that's the right place. Oh, is that too high? Oh, it might be. Now, where's she going to go? Let's make sure she's in the right place, and then I can figure out where this has got to go. That's better. Okay, it's going there. Get rid of that bit of glue from there. Okay, bit of glue here. Just behind here. And down here. There we are. Right, now I think I feel ready to glue her on. I think so. first, just try and make sure it grabs everywhere. I may have to come back in and just add a little bit of glue here and there if she pops up. And I'm still trying to decide whether to pop this one in here. I do quite like it in there, so I might just do that. In fact, it's got itself stuck to the leaf that it's underneath. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on there just to keep it from coming up, because it's decided to stay there now. Okay. We have, just got to find the right pin. We have now got our cover is decorated. I'm just needing to put a bit of glue under here actually. Decided. I think that it doesn't seem to be catching as much. This seemed to be coming up, so I'm just going to put that there. Right, so I've got a couple more things I want to do which affect the cover, although it's not actually on the cover. So I have this journal card and it's been sitting here, and I just felt like it needed something on the edge here. So I would like to add some fabric, and of course I'll give myself choices because that's what I always do. So I pulled this piece out, which I think may be the one because it goes very well there. A piece of that curtain fabric I nearly used for the lining and didn't. It's just a handy piece sticking out there. I've got that. I'll cut it to size. I'm just wondering about that. And the other one I had in mind was this piece, which again goes very well colour-wise. It is quite thick, so I don't know that I'd want to fold it over. This one I would. I will fold it and put that there, or I might just put that as it is. No, I think I do actually like this one. I don't need it to be as wide as that. So I'm just going to cut that down. And one thing I like, it's just got a little touch of blue in there, which goes very well with the colour of the bird. So that works very well as far as I'm concerned. And is that too long? Let's have a look. Nope, I like that. I do. I like that. I just felt it needed that finishing touch, something to pull out. Even though it's sticking out enough to get hold of it, I just felt it lacked something. Oh, here we go again. See, I'm getting fed up with this glue. I'm just going to see if the art glitter glue would just do the job for me. Pull it down just a little bit, away from the beak. Okay, I know it's not central because I didn't want it too close to the bird's face. So that's going to go back in there. Like that. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just wondering, I've got this autumn label. I could put that down there. Could even put it here. Because it's part of the cover, isn't it? I'm just wondering whether that would kind of look okay there. Is there anywhere else it would work? Not sure. I kind of like it there for some reason. Don't know. Don't know. I'd have been happy if it tucked in behind the bird, I think. Maybe it could go along there. possible. Could it go on here? Not really. Could go here. I'll think on that. I will think on that. But my final thing to do on the cover, or on the front of the journal, I suppose, would be to do something with this tab here. It's been kind of annoying me that it's just got this straight edge here. That's because the paper only went this far, and I wanted to get her into that window, and that was right at the far edge, I think, of the paper. So I didn't actually take the paper, or at least it didn't go far enough to go right across. So that's why I've ended up with a blank bit, and I could leave it like that. It looks okay, but I prefer to cover it really. So just trying to decide. I've got some book page. I think I'd like to use book page. I've got a bit of German and I've got some Latin. I think purely because this is a smaller font and this is a small area, I think I might go with this. And I will just tear it down here. Bit of a rip here, but that'll just glue down. So just want to tear off the top. Get rid of that bit. Okay, and then I would like to, I have left a bit of a border around, so I could leave this piece and just glue a piece on here. I might just tear a bit off. How shall I tear it? I want to make sure I leave enough on there. So I might just tear it there. Well, you can tell how long I was faffing with those leaves because I've already had to change my battery. Hopefully it won't be as long for you because I will probably edit a lot of that faffing out, hopefully. So I will take this piece off here just to make it a smaller piece to work with, and I'm just going to glue it. I'm going to ink this edge using the walnut stain. And I'll glue around it, and then I'll cut round the outside bit. I'll probably have to ink it again afterwards once I've cut it. But just in case any of this is glued on and not accessible when I've inked it. When I've cut it and glued it on. Just going to ink that like that. Yeah, I'm just going to glue that on there. Now I'm wondering if I should have gone all the way down. Should I have done that? Would that look better if it had gone all the way down? Maybe it would. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would. I think it'd look better all the way down. Have I got any left? If I'd gone all the way to there, it would look better like that. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to start again. Okay, so I pulled out another piece of paper. This isn't in German, but It will work. There's my little ruler. It will work. And the other paper won't go to waste. Okay, let's just tear that along there. Doesn't look like I've torn that very straight, but I don't know if it really is going to matter very much. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So that's going to go on there now. Yeah. Yep. And again we'll ink. Don't want it too far over, just along there. I think it does look better for being all the way down. Alright, so I'm going to just glue that. With my glue stick. Oh, no, that one. Okay, going to glue this on there. Would you believe it? I managed to find a battery that had hardly got any life left in it, so I've had to change it again. Never mind, haven't missed anything. So that's there. Just going to cut around this. Let's see how that looks now. Oh yeah, that's better. And I think I will go around it with the scorched timber, as that's what I've been using. Sorry about the crashing, it's all just a pair of scissors I knocked. Yeah, I've been using this on, I think, on the edges of the journal cards and also around the edge of the cover itself, so I think it would be appropriate to use it here. Just going to give it that edge. I'm going to okay, yeah, happy with that. Happier than I was with it not being covered. Not essential, but I like it better like that. It looks more finished. But I want to do one more thing. So I want to put an eyelet in there and have a bit of a dingle-dangle going on. Don't know how that's going to work out. I don't do them very often. But let's just give it a try. So I don't need to go too far up. Up there, I think. And then we need a eyelet. So okay, let's see if we can find one in a suitable colour. I think we'll do one of these. Oh, it's quite a dark one. A little bit, yeah, that's a slightly warmer colour. That will do nicely. So I'm going to pop that in there. Yep, that's all fine. And I have some ball pins, so I'll get them out that will kind of go with this colour, so that will work. And I have a few little bits. I don't know if they're going to work. I have a box of charms, old metal bits, old bits of jewellery that I've kind of collected. Most of the bits of jewellery were my mum's, so, and I'm not very good at using jewellery pliers and things, and I've never got the grips with using working with little, what they call them, jump rings. I have a pack of jump rings, but I've never been able to make them work. So I'm just going to hook a few things onto this and see how it looks. I didn't have much. I thought I had a nice leaf charm. I think I must have used it for something because I couldn't find it. So I did find this, which is one I bought. I think it's meant to be to go on a necklace or something because it's got a little... But I just thought it would go quite nicely here. The colour's really good. I'm not sure about this. This is a leaf. But there is a bit of this colour here and there, especially on that bird. So I might use that. I've got this tassel, which again, maybe. I may not use them all. I've just got a few bits. And the only animal I could find that was remotely suitable was this owl, but it's very bright and silver, and I don't know if I can do anything about that. I might see what I can do. I don't know. I'm not sure about the colour. I also have this piece, which I think was a part of an earring or something that my mum had, and I love the colours, but I don't know how I'm going to use it. It's not going to go on here, on this jump ring, because it's got no loop, got no hole or anything to hook it onto. But I did wonder if I could kind of, I don't know whether I can put it on the cover or not. Let's see what we can do. I also sometimes like to put a bit of lace. I did wonder about maybe a piece of this vintage lace on there, just as a dangle, just to pop on. So I might put that on first. Put that through there. Okay. Then we might put the feather. Don't know about the feather. Maybe I'll try the... Again, I'm not sure about this. This, what did I put? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. This, what do you call it, tassel. I don't know whether that will work as well. I won't know until I put it back in the journal card and see how it looks with everything else. And I don't know how these two things, no, they don't go together, do they? And I really like the heart, so that might be the only thing I can put on there, really. If I can find some other small thing to go on there, I might. But at the moment, we'll stick with that. I might be able to put a couple of beads or something on there. But let's just try, see how it looks. As I say, it's not something I do very often, because I'm not very good at attaching beads and things. Where are we? Get through that hole, that's it. Where is it? Where's the end? Getting caught up. Whoops! It's getting caught on the eyelet, I think. Right, let's just put it like that. Doing up. Whoop. we are. That's worked, sort of. Yeah, it looks a little bit like it needs something else. It's not quite hanging as I'd like it to either. Let's just see, maybe I'll put it on the other way. Going in that way. Maybe I'll go I'm going to go that way. I think I'm still doing it the wrong way, but other people doing these things make it look so easy, but of course it's super fiddly. Oh, I think I've got it. Are you in? So you're supposed to be that way round, I think. There we are. I think we're in. Okay, let's go with that. And let's just pop it back in here and see how it looks, and I'll see if I can find anything else to dangle from there. So we've got that. Got a fairy looking through the window. Got a fairy sitting up here with all the leaves. We've got this, and I will have a think about whether I want to put autumn on there or whether that's just a bit too obvious and not really needed on the front. I'm not sure it is. So that's my video for today. I'm happy with how it's turned out. I'm sorry it's been a bit faffy to get there. These things often are. But I really love her on there. And I will definitely find use for the other gorgeous fairy. She'll go on one of the journal cards or in the book somewhere. So that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.